Hi Virgo, how are you? I wanted to do your readings in a different location, but it's storming today, so if you hear the thunderstorm in the background, I thought it would be an interesting vibe. Hopefully it's not going to be too disruptive. I'm just going to get into your reading. My email is reopened, so if you try to email me and you couldn't get through, sorry, it's fixed now. Okay, there's a new beginning coming in your physical. For some of you, it's one of commitment. This came out in Taurus too, this energy. There's an energy of like your reflection being mirrored back to you. It's like you're trying to move forward on your path. There's an energy of where you feel confused and you feel like you need to wait. Because there's conflict going on. Okay, hold on one second. Let me, okay. Give me a second to take in the storyline here. There is a new beginning coming. This is one that is going to be karmic in nature, but not karmic in like a negative sense. I get that this is kind of like a reward for a karmic lesson. So this is something that's coming back around towards you, and it's gonna feel similar to past situations, but you have to kind of trust that you've got to a point in your life that you've learned from your past. So it's not going to be a repeat of the past because you're not the same person that you were in the past. You're somebody new now. You've evolved. So you've learned a lesson here. And because of that, you are going to be rewarded. I get Hecate is important here for some of you. You might be into Greek mythology, or you've been working with her, or you're interested in working with her. But there is an energy of commitment, and there's also an energy of like pulling your energy back, because I get that in the past you allowed other people to kind of define who you were. You allowed other people to have too much significance in how you viewed yourself. And it was really because you needed to see past illusions. There are a lot of illusions here that were self-limiting. It's like there was negative energy here, but it's all you. You might have perceived it as like other people thinking negatively of you, that you needed to change yourself in some way. But I get here, it's like your own shadow that you needed to deal with. Again, it's children are relevant here. It might be a childhood wound. If it is, I get more of a feminine energy. So this is either a childhood wound around, I get that it's a little girl. So either, this is your inner child and it was around you being, gender is significant is what I'm saying. So it might be that, there were differences in how genders were treated in your family and this affected you. Either that you being the little girl, or that there was a little girl in your family that might have been favored over you, especially a blonde. This is somebody in your community, from your childhood, blonde hair. Take that how it resonates. But again, it's like, do you see that there's a spider web here, but it's a spiral, and then you have spirals here. Spiral is like the natural death and rebirth. It's like the spiral. Humans tend to view, you've been conditioned to view time as linear, but time is really like, it's like the rings in a tree. It's cycles. So this is like a cycle that's coming back. So the situation that you're going through, or that you will be pulling in, it is something that is grounded in your physical. I do get that it's commitment. I do that this is going to help you take your power back from other people. But it's almost like you're taking your power back from yourself. You've been giving your power away. This is similar to Taurus. So you might be like you might have come here from the Taurus reading. A lot of people watch all my readings. It's like, I do appreciate the views, but you have to understand that it affects the energies. We're not getting like true source Virgo energy if Taurus is watching the Virgo, just because, you know, it's another reading from me. But on another level, thank you for, you know, your support. I appreciate. Anyways, I'm pulling a little bit from that energy. I'm going to probably go horse with these readings because I haven't done readings in a long time. I'm not used to like talking, and I have to kind of like project my voice. So hopefully it won't be too bad. I'll try to control it as I can. I hope that me rocking isn't disorienting for you. This is something that you're pulling in, Virgo, that you've wanted for a long time. But it's almost like you had to go on this journey to realize what you really wanted. This reminds me of like the Hobbit. Well, not even like the Hobbit. It gives me more like Frodo energy. It's almost like you had to leave the Shire so that you could come back and like really appreciate where you come from. And it's helping you unlock a new level that you'll be going towards. So if you have noticed that it feels like a cycle is repeating in your life, you feel like, you know, something is coming back up, like, oh God, I've experienced this before. You have to trust yourself that you are coming at this new situation, even though it seems repetitive, you're coming at it from a new angle, you're coming at it from a higher perspective, and trust the toolkit that you have, that you're not going to repeat the same old patterns that you had in the past. Because I do get that this new beginning is one that Nightmare Before Christmas might be significant for somebody, because this energy almost gives me like when Jack is in the forest with all the like holiday trees, and then, you know, like you like fall into one. This is something that is going to be a wish fulfillment. It's something that you've been wishing for. And see, it's still like that energy of like kind of like falling into like a portal. And it's one that you've been waiting for. It's something that you've been praying for. It's your manifestations are coming in for you. And there was a period of time where you were confused on what you wanted. And that's because there was this like boogeyman in your life that was blocking your path forward, but it was truly just a reflection of what you needed to heal. And for a lot of you, it has to do with your childhood or some sort of like child, you know, little girl in your life. You know, I'm getting this song, I hope you never lose your, what is it? Is it childhood sense of wonder? Is that the lyric? So that I hope you dance. Did you hear? That might be Hecate would like for you to dance. That's a really good way to move energy through your body. If you're like coming into, if you're going through an ascension, you have new energy coming into your body, but you have to make room for it. You have to like make room for the old. A lot of times like light energy can come in and like break up like dark energy. It kind of, they're giving me the image of like plaque, but it's like a water pick, you know, like getting the plaque. That's the energy that's trying to come in for you. Sorry, I know that's a weird way to put it, but that's what I'm seeing. For some of you, you know, it might be significant in some way. That's what I'm seeing for you. Dancing can help move that energy, because what you need to do is be active in some way so that can move in for you, because a lot of people get ascension symptoms when they go through an ascension where it feels like you have the flu almost. But what can help is moving the energy through you. So dance is a really good way to do it. Maybe just like dance in a mirror. It might help you connect to your childhood. Maybe somebody made you feel bad about like your I don't know. Maybe you were a dancer in childhood and somebody made you feel like you weren't a good dancer, so you stopped dancing. You get what I'm saying? It's like that sort of energy here. But I get that this like negative energy you've been feeling, or that you've had to overcome, was really like just like your inner shadow that you had to deal with. Because this gives me like troll energy, you know? It gives me kind of like, and I don't want to get into it. I don't want to do a like fairy reading, because I feel like fairies are so complicated that it's hard to talk about them in passing, because people don't understand like what fairies are, and that they are very real, but they're not like the cartoon sense, or like, you know, like the Disney sense of a fairy. It's something very different. And it's hard. I would have to do a separate reading. It's hard to get into it casually. It's a lot more complex. And I feel like people, yeah, like some of the fairies don't want me to speak on them right now. Usually when I talk about them, if somebody's not like super into like, you know, the occult, into like spirituality, and not like new age spirituality, but more like paganism, which is what I do, they think that I'm crazy. But it's a real energy here. I don't want to talk about it. I might do it later. It's not a like 5-minute conversation. That's like a 5-hour lecture to graze the surface of that. It's too much. Yeah, this new commitment that's coming into your life, you're gonna have clarity when it does, that these are like the pieces falling together for you. You've been trying to manifest something, and this is like everything coming together. It's going to make sense. All the struggles, all the like negative energy that you had to deal with for a while now, is going to make sense to you why it had to happen that way. Spirit is saying to go all in on this new commitment coming towards you. So, I mean, if this is a relationship, this does give me like potential for like long-term partnership. It is something that's going to require your full commitment. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. For a lot of you, it's not. For a lot of you, it's a journey of like self-expression, of being who you truly are and committing to yourself in a way. Because there is an energy here of you were hiding, you were masking who you really were, and it was causing confusion for you because you didn't know what you actually wanted, because a lot of what you thought you wanted was in line with this false character you've created to blend in and be accepted by other people. You're starting to open up, or you will be, and being more vulnerable. That's the thing about like being yourself truly, and like unmasking and expressing your true vibration to the fullest, is that it does make you a lot more vulnerable. Because when you are masking and doing things to fit in with the crowd, if somebody decides to dislike you, to attack you, you don't take it as personally, because it's like, you know, they don't really know me. They don't really know what I'm about. But when you are like putting yourself all out there and you're being super vulnerable, if somebody attacks you, then it hits a lot harder. And this is going to require you to be more vulnerable. But again, I get that you have been through something I get that this is like, this isn't, yeah, this might, for some of you, this might even be like something that you worked on in a past life. I get that whatever you're manifesting, it's something big. This is something you've wanted for a really long time. And you just weren't clear on it. You weren't sure what you wanted to truly commit to, because this, whatever you're manifesting, Virgo, is going to require 100% commitment. For a lot of you, this is like a career choice. This is like a destiny sort of choice. This is much bigger than just a relationship. This is like, For some of you, you might want to decide to be pagan. I'm pagan, and I can talk to you a little bit about it, what made me go that route. I am not like Wiccan. I've never been Wiccan. I've never liked that people associated me with Wicca, because that's not what I'm about, and I've never been about that. But I can fully confidently say that I am pagan. I love being pagan. Nothing has healed my soul more than accepting paganism and, actually like following pagan culture and teachings and holidays. It's been something that's very soul fulfilling for me. So that might be something that you want to look into. If you want me to talk more about that, I would be happy to. Also, for somebody, I get here that you had a grandmother that was like, you might have gone to her house. She lived in the woods. She lived in a rural area. Rural. She lived in the woods. This might be somebody that, this gives me like Appalachian, Appalachian granny magic. I get for some of you, you had a grandmother that was very, again, not spiritual, but like did like earth magic, like natural magic. They might have been an earth sign as well. And their prayers, and it's because this gives me like protective circle, but this is like an older woman. So I get somebody might have even done this for you. So, you're being protected today by your grandmother's prayers. Aw. I feel that too. I resonate with that too. So I get it. And trees are very significant for somebody. So you have an elder that prayed for you, that might have even done spells, like natural spells. I don't get that this was like they were a witch in the woods, but that's who they were by nature. So they are protecting you and watching over you. And also, like, tree spirits are very significant. So you might live in like a wooded area, or you're feeling called to move to a wooded area, or you might have like a tree that you're feeling called to, and that is a tree spirit, confirmation that that is a tree spirit that wants to connect with you. I think one of the like best things to give a tree spirit, I love that tree spirits like trinkets. Okay, in my experience, I have a tree that I am very close with. I have a couple, and I connect with them to protect the property. So I have trees in different corners of the property that I connect with and I make offerings to. And one of their favorite offerings is trinkets. They really like I have a lot of like crystal necklaces that I don't wear. I don't wear that much jewelry. So I will hang those like crystals in their trees, and they love it. Or you could do like a bird feeder. Maybe it wants a bird feeder. Maybe it wants some sort of like, decorative like sun catcher. Some sort of connection with the tree might help. But the tree also gives me like family. I get family is tied here. And there might have been an energy that when you were younger, you felt disconnected from your family, or you felt like your creative side, and again, it's feminine. Maybe you grew up in a culture where femininity is not valued, or it's looked down at, or it's seen as something that's a weakness. Again, with Hecate and the like frogs. So you might be seeing a lot of frogs. Frogs are connected with Hecate. Yeah, this is confirmation. There are fairies around you. For some of you, Odin as well. You might be seeing signs of Odin. You might be seeing ravens or crows, wolves. Wolves are also connected to different gods as well. So if it's just wolves, I wouldn't just assume that it's Odin. But if you're seeing ravens and wolves, or just ravens, I would take that as a sign as well. You have a lot of like mysticism around you right now. You have a lot of magic. And for a lot of you, it's because you might have been doing spell work, or you've been dabbling, or you've been interested in spell work. And it's just a confirmation that for some of you, it runs in your family. And I don't get that like you had grandma that like outwardly did magic. You might have. But I get for a lot of you, it's like innate magic, like you just have a magical bloodline. So it's something that you do naturally and you're drawn to. But there's an energy here of like, they want you to stop pretending to be somebody that you're not. They want you to accept yourself and to love yourself. And that's going to complete this cycle. For some of you, there was a cycle of either like partying to distract yourself, like a lot of, let me think of the word, disassociating. You might have Pisces in your chart. This is like this can be a partying, but as a way to distract you. So again, with the theme of not being yourself, putting up a mask, maybe you have a group of people that you hang out with, but the only thing you have in common with them is partying, and it pulls you away from who you truly are. Or for some of you, if that's not the case, it could be third party. So you might have had a pattern in your life that you weren't being chosen. You had other people that were, you know, a third party. You think that you have a one-on-one connection with somebody and you're building the connection, and then you find out that, you know, they're still connected with an ex and they've been playing you the whole time. That sort of energy. There's an energy of like feeling like you're never chosen, like people are always chosen over you. If you're up for an opportunity or somebody else is connected with you or you're going into a relationship, there's always an ex. There's always, you know, another applicant that has a better resume than you. There's always somebody that comes in at the last moment and takes your opportunity from you, and it made you question yourself. And again, this goes all the way back to childhood, of feeling second best. Somebody felt second best, and it has to do with, I was gonna say, like, you know, like a little girl. I don't know the best way to like put that. It's either that you were the second, you know, best child, because either your family prioritized girls and you're a boy, or your family prioritized boys and you were the girl. It's that sort of energy that all the way back to childhood, you've never felt chosen. You've never felt like you were first choice. You never felt like you were the priority. And the thing is that it's put you in a position of wanting to be chosen so bad that you weren't being who you are. You just do what everybody else wants you to do, and you make decisions based on what other people are telling you rather than what is truly for you. And it's created a situation where you were just completely like disconnected, and they're saying discombobulated. That is what is meant when they talk about selling your soul. I mentioned that briefly in a reading where I was talking about like working with demons, and I can talk more about that. That's something that is kind of, it's more advanced. So it's something that I'm hesitant to put on YouTube for free. It might have to be more of like a private, like, you know, if I do Patreon again, or like a private sort of group where I talk on that and I can teach. The concept of like selling your soul is not, you can't sell your soul. I mean, I don't want to speak in like black and white, because there are obviously situations, but you know, as a normal person that is not involved in the like secret society occults, you know, that's very different. I'm not going to speak on that, especially not on YouTube. That's a different situation. But as a day-to-day person, you're not going to like do a ritual, and that might be, you know, again, you might have some Taurus in your chart, or you're pulling from the Taurus energy of like, you've been getting signs of Hecate, you feel connected to Hecate, but you won't connect with her because you have like religious conditioning, and you're afraid, oh, well, if I look more into paganism, if I look more into gods and goddesses, then I'll be selling my soul. The gods and goddesses don't want your soul. It's extremely narcissistic, and shows that you grew up in a capitalist society, that you think everything is like up for sale. And my gods have told me that not only is it narcissistic to think that they want your soul to begin with, to think that your soul is an object that can be bought or sold. So the concept of selling your soul is more so disconnecting from your soul. And that is basically what everybody has done. You know, working a 9-to-5 in a cubicle, unless it's something that is in line with what you're truly passionate about. And there are people that work in cubicles that are doing work that is truly their passion. You know, I'm not bashing a 9-to-5. There are plenty of 9-to-5s that are soul enriching, and there are plenty of people that feel good in those positions and want to do those positions. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that working a 9-to-5 just to like make, just to pay the bills and disconnecting from, that no hobbies, you don't know what makes you happy. Somebody asks you, tell me about yourself, you're lost. All you do is like, go to work, come home, go out and party. That's your choice. But I'm saying if it's to a point that you're distracting yourself from the fact that you feel lost all the time and you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want, you sold out. You sold your soul. You gave your soul away. And it's not so much that somebody has bought it. Besides, capitalism will buy your soul from you. That's basically what you do in a like dead end 9-to-5 that you hate. You are selling your time and your energy to be able to live. And that's an unfortunate society that we live in. And I believe that that's intentional. And I think that it is a form of, I know that can be offensive, me saying this, but it is a form of slavery. Obviously, that's a strong word. I get it. I'm on a time limit here, guys. You can't, if you want to misunderstand me, you're going to misunderstand me. That's whatever. You'll find anything to be offended about. Obviously, it's not my intention. You know what I mean? Anyways. Virgo, if you are super religious, you're very much aware that fairies are around you, or you're getting signs, or they're trying to reach out to you. And it's not an energy of they're trying to steal your soul from you. It's an energy of they want you to know that you are worthy and valuable and amazing and incredible as you are. And you don't have to constantly be drunk so you can fit in with everybody and you can numb, the big feelings that you have because you were told you weren't allowed to have big feelings as a child. That's what girls do. You're a boy, or you were told that, girls aren't allowed to go after this, what you want to go after. Boys do that. You need to be at home. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have been conditioned, and that is the aspect of selling your soul. You being conditioned to give up what makes your soul happy. Your soul is never going to be taken from you without your consent, first of all. It's not a valuable thing that people want to pay for in the spiritual realms. It is very much in the 3D, but that's more so people want to pay for your time and energy and your ideas and then, kind of leave you a shell of yourself. That's the norm in capitalism society. You get what I'm saying? There is something coming in for you that you have prayed for, that you have worked for, that you've wanted for a long time. It requires you to be who you are, truly be who you are. And it's not something that you're going to do overnight. It is definitely a muscle that you have to develop over time. And truly the muscle that you are developing is to not give a shit. You have to stop giving a shit, and you have to learn with being okay by yourself. And if that means you need to take some time to be alone and to deal with yourself and to work through, whatever emotions that you are running from, that is okay. And, you will be okay. If there are relationships in your life that make you feel unfulfilled and require you to be a different person, if you want to be happy, if you want to live your life to the fullest, you truly have two options. Is one, you cut those people off and you move on with your life and you accept that you had fun at one point, but they don't resonate with you anymore and they're just holding you back. And people grow in different ways. And sometimes you have to let go of people that you loved and that you wanted in your life forever. Sometimes you have to let them go with love so that you can be who you need to be and choose yourself. The other option that you have is, I think that it's good to have some time away so that you can kind of figure out what you want, but then you reintroduce yourself. And that's what I did with my friends, is I had to take some time to decide what it is I truly wanted. And then I had to decide with the people that I was friends with in my former life are these people that I want to continue a friendship with. And there were some people that I did, and that feeling was not reciprocated. There were some people that I tried to reconnect with, and that they did not want to reconnect with me. And I don't take that personally, because, you know, I don't feel like I was ever malicious towards them. And I think that if my actions were perceived as malicious, if there's an opportunity to talk that out and figure that out, that would be one thing. But if they just don't want to invest any time and energy into, you know, being friends and to learning who I am for real and getting to know each other on a like real level, then I don't want to put time into people that don't want to put time into me. I don't value people that don't value me. And you really have to get to that point in your life. You have to learn how to be more selfish, Virgo. I feel like that is the lesson of Virgo. Virgo is the like humanitarian, more so than the Aquarius, because the Aquarius is an air sign. So mentally, Aquarians want to be humanitarians. That is their sign, but it's more so from a like mental space. A lot of Aquarians are introverts, and they don't actually like to connect with a lot of people. It's just, you know, they love humanity as a concept. Virgos are the like social work signs. So Virgos are the ones that will bend over backwards to hold their community together, that will bend over backwards to help other people, that are relied upon because they're so proficient, because they're so community based, because they care about people. People with heavy Virgo make amazing social workers, amazing, more so than Pisces, because Pisces is known as that too, but Virgo again is the earth sign that actually puts in the work to make things happen. I don't remember, that was a stream of consciousness. I don't remember where I was going with that. I don't know. Sorry, Virgo. I lost that thought, but you get what I'm saying. I hope you get the gist of it. I get here that you are in a spot that, rather than freaking out about losing old friendships and old relationships, understanding that there's a shedding process to growth. And there comes a point that you have to let go of your old life. And I get here that your old life wasn't a life that you wanted. It was a life that was basically given to you and assigned to you, and you had to make sure that everybody agreed with that so that you would be comfortable. And really what you need to get to the point, you need to get to the point that you trust yourself, and that you trust your inner knowing and your inner guidance. And I also get you have heavy elders on the other side that were magical in some way, that, and again, I get it's very innate for them. So it gives me heavy, like you might be Appalachian. A lot of, magic runs through the Appalachian Mountains and the people that are here. But that's the energy that I get for you, is that for some of you, it's like you work with fairies, whether you know it or not. You are meant to be, I don't want to recruit you, but I feel like a lot of people that are not in religions that are, I don't even want to say that. It's a Christian thing, because it's not a religion thing. How I believe and how I think most pagans are is I will speak my mind on it, and I will share what makes me happy. And, when I'm celebrating a pagan holiday, I share information on that. But I'm not going to campaign everybody to be pagan, because I don't care, honestly. I don't give a shit what you worship. That's your own business, as long as you keep it away from me. And you have some respect, I don't give a shit. Why would I care? I'm not going to church with you. I don't want to, and if you press it upon me, then it might be an issue, but I'm not going to demand everybody is pagan. So I am the school of thought that if you see the way that I live and you feel like I tend to be very blessed and taken care of by the universe, and I'm a very strong person and things tend to work out for me, and I find peace in chaotic situations, and I always have a wise word to say, maybe you should look into, what I worship, because I'm obviously a very happy and stable person, and I'm a very magical and powerful person, and that has a lot to do with me being pagan. So I don't think that being pagan is scary. And I think if you're scared of that, I'm going to sell my soul, I think I'm probably one of the most soulful people that I know. I think people that meet me have their perceptions of me, but if you get to know me, I tend to be the one that people come to when they need help with spiritual nature, you know, when they need help with the occult, when they have questions of like, I'm seeing these signs, what is that? So I don't think that that's a sign that I don't have a soul. That would be a sign to me that I'm extremely soulful and in tune with the universe, and animals trust me and come to me, and I have fairy messengers coming all the time. I think that's a blessing, and that shows that you are chosen by the universe, and not in a manic crazy way that I'm the next Jesus. And calm down. You are chosen by the universe to fulfill the role that you're meant to fulfill, and that's a blessing, and you should feel into that. And especially as somebody that has heavy sixth house, which is Virgo energy, I think Virgos are some of the most beautiful people because they are why are you guys making me emotional? They are so self-sacrificing, and I think more than a Pisces, because Pisces are known as like the sweethearts, but I think Virgos are cutthroat, but that's because Virgos have their entire community relying on them. You ask a Virgo to do something for you, it's done. So they have to be more cutthroat because they are humans and there's only so much time in the day, you know. They have to fulfill what they need to fulfill, which is taking care of their community. That's just the people that they are, and a lot of them are selfless. A lot of them do it without credit, and they don't ask for credit. That's just who they are. So I think that if, you know, Spirit is telling you, you are worthy and we love you and we want to show you this amazing, beautiful thing we have coming in for you, I think rather than fearing it, you should be excited because it's a blessing, and you are being chosen. You are being chosen to elevate, and you're being chosen to move into a higher perspective. And if you guys need advice on, you know, paganism, if you need advice on, you know, how to integrate, like what a lot of people ask me for, like book recommendations, I am happy to recommend. Comment below if you guys want additional information, if you want other like videos. People used to ask for videos, you know, that weren't just readings, that were more educational. I am willing to do those again. Just let me know, okay? I am here to support you. Your community is here to support you, and you will be surprised. You will be surprised the amount of people that you think are going to judge you, that you think are going to, I'm trying to think of the word, that are going to, you know, cut you off, that not want to deal with you because, you know, oh, now you're weird and you have all these weird things, and maybe they, you know, you get self-conscious about like being judged. You will be surprised how much more space there will be in your life for people to love you because you're showing up as you are. So people that already loved you are going to be so happy to see this. And there might be some people that need to be reintroduced to you and that need to adjust to, you know, who you are, and need to adjust their expectations, and need to learn how to respect you more. And, you know, when you start to show up in your full energy, that will probably be something that you'll notice, is that people that got used to being disrespectful towards you, or felt that they had some sort of like power over you, are not going to take it very well. But all you can do is, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, you know, and it's a practice and it's a muscle, and I'm not perfect at it by any means, but it's something that it gets easier with time. And as you do it and feel love from the people that are truly meant to connect with you, you start to realize that it's worth it. It's worth it, Virgo. So whatever boogeyman that you've had to defeat, you will see things come full circle, and you will know why it happened, how it impacted you, and how you were able to rise to this new version of you, and it will be worth it. Okay, love you, bye.